Hello, welcome to day 10, ladies. Whoa. Hello, LinkedIn fam, and I'm going live on YouTube. I am so proud. This is day 10 of our Women of Color Leadership Series, where I'm going live on LinkedIn every day for 21 days in February. I am doing this in honor of Black History Month. I wanted to really do something big. And I was like, I want to do it big, do it for my people, really celebrate us. And it's just been amazing. Okay. So, if you're new to my channel or you're new to my network, welcome. I am Latrice Huff, career and leadership coach to ambitious women of color. And it is my mission, my movement, and my purpose to put more Black women and women of color in positions of power and leadership roles. And I do that by my coaching programs, by sharing content, by hosting events. So I love doing these things and I love seeing you all win. And the response to the series has been amazing. So for today's topic, it's a little different. I'm going to make sure that I'm checking for the comments because I notice I'm not seeing the comments on my screen. So I'm going to check my phone for it. Today, we're going to be talking all about why it is important and why you, as a Black woman, and I'm calling out Black women today, really all women of color, but I'm calling out Black women especially because I've been working with mostly Black women recently in my business. And because it's Black History Month, why we need to brand ourselves. And I've noticed we have all the education, all the credentials, but what school doesn't teach us is how to brand ourselves. They teach us that the education is our brand, and that's just simply not true. And when you have credentials, but not branding yourself, you make yourself a commodity, right? Like just like everybody else. And then we're playing the price game, whether you have your own business um, or whether this is for your career, right? There will always be somebody who has more credentials. There will always be somebody that has more experience. So it needs to be something else that seals the deal for you. This is where your personal brand comes in. And we're not taught this in school. I have the education, the certifications. I got it all too. I used to collect certifications like nobody business. Okay. I don't get me wrong. I still get a certification or two, just sure. But what I notice is we then don't use the education or the certification to brand ourselves. And I've talked about this before about not putting the credentials behind our name, not putting our degrees on our resumes. Like these things that we have been taught that don't work for us, that really don't work for anybody, where we see other people branding themselves, highlighting their accomplishments and their credentials and getting the roles, and yet we're taught not to do it. So I really want to focus today on why for Black women and women of color, you need to build your brand in 2024. It is non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. Okay. So as you all are coming in, give me a hey, hi, let me know where you're joining in from. As always, if you're watching live, give me a hashtag live. Watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. And if you're like Latrice, I got a sis who needs to hear this, share this out, tag her in the comments. We need more Black women, more women of color seeing this, knowing about personal brand. Because here's the thing, I didn't know even personal brand or what that was until years after I was out of college and into the workforce, right? And now I'm like just starting to see people talk about it in their careers more and more towards women of color very recently. Like, I mean, in the last few months, right? Before it was, you hear mostly about like social media or people higher ups, like high level executives. No, but in reality, everybody has a brand. Build everybody needs to build their personal brand. And as a Black woman, you're not excluded. In fact, you need to build your personal brand more than everyone else. And we're not taught this in school. We're not taught this in our culture. We're not taught it in our community. The main place I see people talking about it is on LinkedIn. And I love it. I'm starting to see more people of color, more women talk about personal branding power and the power of personal branding. and using what you have, your natural gifts, as an asset, as a way to set you apart. Okay. So, what I want to do first is I want to start with like a brief explanation of what is personal branding, and then we'll go more into why. And I want you all as part of the conversation. So, put the comments and tag people. I want to hear your thoughts on this as well. Are you seeing more about personal branding? Do you know what it is, right? What questions do you have about personal branding? Personal branding is my specialty. I have been talking about personal branding for years. Before it was hot, before it was the cool thing, I was like, my people need personal branding. Like that's the skill. I used to say personal branding is a six-figure skill, and I heard this, and then I heard this lady, she was speaking, and she was like, your personal brand is like your personal ATM machine. I was like, whoa. Let me tell you, personal branding is $1 million skill. It's not even a six-figure skill. Personal branding is $1 million skill. So I want you to think how much money you're leaving on the table when you decide not to build your personal brand, because it's a decision. I've had people be like, "Oh no, I'm gonna build my personal brand later." I be like, "Later, ma'am, you're in the workforce. You got to do this now, right?" Or I'll hear women. They'll say, "Oh, Latrice, I love what you're doing. I love personal branding, but I'm gonna build my personal brand after I find a job." And I then explain, that's the opposite, because your personal brand will help you find a job quicker and faster in your ideal role, right? Like, and you don't have to play the application game. You don't have to be a commodity. You don't have to play the lowest salary game, right? Like, you don't need to play this. But that's just not what we're taught. But if you look around, that's what's happening. How many times have you applied for a role, and this happened to me, and then you see somebody get it and you got more qualifications than they do? You got more experience, you got more education, right? And then I used to hear people say, well, it's who's the most suitable. And when I was in HR, they'd be like, not the most qualified candidate, it's who's the most suitable candidate. I was like, oh, okay, I see the game we're playing here. I learned all of this, you guys, being in human resources, working my way up, being a recruiter, seeing how hiring managers made decisions, going to conferences. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I see the game here. And once I figured out the game, I was able to get promotions or raises every year to year and a half, while other people were stagnant and stalled in their career, being in the same positions for 10, 15, 20 years. And I'm just moving because I figured it out. And this is why I'm telling you all, it's so important, right? You want them, if you're feeling stuck in your career, you probably need to be working on your personal brand, sis. All right. So before we even go deeper, if you're like, Latrice, I love this, I need to work on my personal brand now in 2024. If you like, I want to do that, then I invite you to join my Leadership Legacy program. This is specifically for Black women and women of color who want to land leadership roles, or if you're already in a leadership role and you want to be successful in that role. And if you have your own business, right? So my clients also have their own businesses, and they're the leader in their business, and they want to grow that business to multiple six figures. The Leadership Legacy program is for you. And to enroll in that program, you're going to book a call with me. Just go to calendarly.com/Latrice/leadership, fill out a couple questions, get on my calendar. We're going to get you enrolled, right? So this is for you. I love this. But my ladies, I'm going in. This is for you all, okay? So, what is personal branding? I'm going to give you a very high level, brief overview. It is like, some people say like your unique proposition, right? But again, it's your unique gift. It's that thing that comes natural to you. And if you have multiple, if you're like, Latrice, I have many gifts, of course you do. You get to decide which gift you want to highlight at what moment, right? It is the thing you do better and best than the next person. It's what gives you your competitive advantage in combination with the problem you solve. This is what I see people lack, is they like, "Oh, I know my gift. My gift is communication. My gift is connecting people." And I'm like, "Great. Now what's the problem you solve?" They're like, well, I don't know, communication. I'm like, yeah, but what's the specific problem you solve for these companies that is on a six figure or multiple six figure level? That's how you kind of got to bring it in, right? Even being a pie maker, if you're the best pie maker in the world, what you do is you make delicious pies. You give people a moment of deliciousness and peace and delectable pies, like, and you take them away from the rest of the world, right? Like you still solve a problem, even if you're a pie maker. And the first time I really heard this concept, I was at the Steve Harvey conference. He used to have this conference called Act Like a Success. And where he really talked about personal branding and like your unique gift and leveraging that gift. But you had to be clear on like, what is the problem you solve? And that's what we miss is either we don't know our gift because it's so innate to us. We think we're like, oh, everybody can't like improve processes. Everybody can't like walk in to a company and in 2 weeks improve their whole process. No, sis. Like everybody can't find $1 million billing error. No, sis. That's unique to you. That's unique to you. And you do it so well. So you need to talk about it and know that it is a gift. Okay. And it's really like a holistic approach because part of your brand is also, yes, going to be your education. Yes, your experience and your background. Yes, like how you dress, your hair, your energy. Like people always like, Latrice, I remember your energy. If you worked with me 20 years ago, I got the pretty much the same personality. Like this is me morning, noon, and night. Unless I am extremely sick, like this is who you get. And even when I'm sick, you just gonna get like a little watered down, right? I just have a lot of energy. And I thought everybody was like this. Y'all, I for real was like, because my family is like this, and my mom was like high energy. So I thought everybody in the world was like high energy, right? And now I see like some people are introverts. That's part of your brand and it makes you special and unique and beautiful, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. All right. So just I wanted to kind of give like a very quick, very brief, okay, what is personal branding? Right. And again, remember, yes, it's my gift and what I do better, faster than the next person, but it's also in combination of the problem I solve. That's key. You gotta remember that, okay? So it's like a holistic approach to how you do things and how you do it better and faster, your competitive advantage. But you have to know that problem you solve too, okay? So, why, as a Black woman, and I'm talking to women of color too, but because it's Black History Month, because I'm a Black woman and I work with a lot of Black women, I'm going to call us out. As a Black woman, you need to build your brand in 2024. Sis, look, there has been a all out assault on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And y'all know I'm not lying. All out assault at the end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024. I was like, they got to be kidding me. All out assault. So you need your brain tight, sis, strong. Okay. Also, when you build your brand and establish yourself, and I believe you should build your brand inside your company and externally, especially for these leadership roles, especially you need to be building it. So, as I talk about building your brand, I'm talking about building your brand internally in your company and externally as well. Okay. Especially with all these layoffs going on, right? Like, you want to be fireproof, you want to be layoff proof. And if the unfortunate does happen, guess what? You will always be able to find a job quickly because you've already built your brand. You're going to have recruiters, hiring managers coming to you, says, I need you to feel me here. Coming, right? Not you always going out applying. When you see people talk about, I applied to 100, y'all know I hate that. I applied to 100 roles. They don't have no strategy. They don't have no personal brand. They just throwing spaghetti on the wall, just saying what's stick and just gonna go with it. No, and then get upset and complain. No, 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 no. That's not what we're doing in 2024, right? When you start building your personal brand, you're gonna notice opportunities come out the woodwork. You're gonna be like, oh, people, let me tell you, when I really started going hard on building my personal brand, even before I started my business, I was still working and I was like, I'm gonna build my brand on LinkedIn, just posting, sharing tips, things like that. I was literally getting job offers in my inbox. Not yes, interviews too, like people like, but also actual offers like, hey, are you available for this contract role? Like actual offers. And then when I started my business, I get a lot of inbound media. I get a lot of inbound requests to speak. I get a lot of inbound requests for like articles and collaborations, right? Because I built my brand so strongly. And even if you're in the beginning, you will notice within 7 days. It really only takes 7 days. With most of my clients, once we start building their brand on LinkedIn, we set up a few automations and some filters. Within 7 days, they're seeing results. Results meaning recruiters in their inbox, results meaning more views, results meaning people who could hire them or for their ideal role are connecting with them. This is what you want. This is what you want. Okay. I'm just looking at my list. And then, oh, this is another thing. Have you I've been getting a lot of questions about, hey Latrice, and this is so sad. Um, People are stealing my ideas, right? Like people are saying, women are telling me that in the workforce, their colleagues or their boss is stealing their ideas. When you build your own brand, your personal brand, you don't need to worry about that. Your ideas will be uniquely yours with a stamp on it. So when they're repeating things, it won't even sound like them. It's gonna sound like you. And the next person's gonna be like, oh, that sounds like Latrice. That sounds like Kimberly. That sounds like Latasha, right? Right? But I've been noticing more and more of this, and I've been getting a lot of this in my inbox and a lot of with my clients who I work with. These are things that they're telling me. It's like, hey, like my boss kind of stole my idea. Like they'll tweak one little piece, but essentially it was some. It was like my client's idea, and I was like, okay, we're gonna take care of that. We're gonna take care of that. Do y'all remember a few days ago when I was talking about how to brag properly as a Black woman? All of that, everything I've been teaching you all up until now is all about how to build your brand. And I think I'm going to do a workshop next month too. I may like I've been thinking about this, like what's something big I want to do. Um, I think I'm going to do a workshop too and like really go deep into building your brand as a Black woman in leadership, like really going hard, right? But like thinking about that, if like you had somebody steal your idea, or you like, I come up with some ideas and I don't want anybody to do it. I want to make a preemptive strike. Start building your personal brand now. Have your own unique voice, your own unique take on things. So if somebody steals something from you, they're just mimicking. They can't even explain it. And you should be explaining your own initiatives anyway. You should be remember, you should be bragging about your ideas and what you came up with as well. This is part of building your brand. And then let me tell you all, if you want a career change, if you like, okay, I want a career change in 2024, a career change ain't nothing but a rebrand, sis. A career change is nothing but a rebrand. I tell people like, I don't have any experience. You have something. All right. I'm checking. All right. Let me see. I'm checking. I see if any comments come in. Yes. It's nothing but a rebrand. A career change. I was like, I may do a whole post on this. A career change ain't nothing but a rebrand. That is it. You do not need to go and change everything about you. A lot of times, too, you don't even need to go out and get a whole nother degree. And I know people who have, and I commend you for doing that. And what I've noticed that when you get the whole other degree, if you don't use it, they'll be like, but I don't have experience. So they don't put it on their resume. And then it's not working for you. And now we're just back in a cycle, right? But what if it's like, oh, it's just a rebrand? I just want to rebrand what I already have. I always think like now y'all know the biggest thing is like Stanley Cups. That's going crazy. Like women are getting Stanley Cups for Valentine's Day for their birthdays. I ain't gonna lie. I got one. I want another one. Like That was just a rebrand. They actually had a great product to start with, and they didn't. I don't think they really changed their product. They changed some colors, right? They changed their rebrand, who they were marketing to. And well, I think the guy like triple, quadrupled the sales or something by just rebranding. He did not create a new product. Like they already had a great product. Thank you. Letitia said, yes, a career change ain't nothing more than a rebrand. Love this. Look, y'all gonna see that. Y'all will see this post. This may be going up. Make you a whole post about this. Career change ain't nothing but a rebrand. I need y'all to think about like, what if it is just that simple? I see people stressing over these career changes. Yeah, if y'all know, I was a waitress, a bartender. If from bartending, I went into accounting. I hated accounting. Then went into accounting. Then went into marketing. I loved marketing, but I hated my boss. So then I was like in marketing. Then I went into HR. Then I went into human resources. You know, I love that. And then like career coaching and like my own business, right? So I know I've had, and I know I'm probably missing a couple too. I've had several. I've worked in several industries. I've had several rebrands. Okay, okay. Let me tell y'all, a career change ain't nothing more than a rebrand. I need you to think about it that simple. This is why you, as that Black woman, need to be like, I am committing in 2024 to building my personal brand. And and here's the thing, you can start off small. Like I've seen some people that's like, you got to start off big, go away, and then come back big. You ain't got to do all that. You ain't got to go away and come back. You can start with a couple little steps. I always recommend one, starting with your mindset. So y'all know I love my 25 reasons why. Starting with your mindset, getting clear on what you want your gift to be and how you want to position yourself. And then LinkedIn, love me some LinkedIn, and then really showing up and practicing your new brand or building your brand at your job. You can start very simple. All right, I just want you all to know that you can start very simple. Other reasons why, here's the thing, it doesn't matter the job market. I've been saying this for a while. When you build your personal brand, what's on in the job market doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter as much. Like who you see like having, like, again, when you make yourself a commodity, meaning um you're only like talking about like credentials, qualifications, like you're not telling that unique magic that you have, then you're only going to be selling yourself on one, hard work. We sell hard work, qualifications, and credentials, and there will always be somebody who can outwork you. And I used to say, oh, nobody can outwork me. Right. I used to pride myself. And then I'd be like, once I discover personal branding, I'm like, well, I'm going to build my expertise. I reserve my energy. If people know, people are like, yes, this is me all the time, but I'm gonna conserve my energy for when I need to show up. I'm not just working hard just to work hard just to say I worked hard. No, like now I'm working much smarter, right? So you want to do that. You do not want to get stuck in that credentials qualifications game, because there will always be somebody with more years of experience. Even if you have 29 years of experience, which I've seen, there could be somebody coming around the corner with 31. And yet the person who may get the role may have 10 years experience, because they talked about their brand, the problem that they solve, what they bring to the company, right? Y'all see what I'm saying? Let me know if y'all picking up what I'm dropping. Like we have, I want this to be a conversation. So I'm gonna just check the comments too. Cause I'm like, y'all, I want to conversate. Like y'all tell me some of the challenges you have had coming up in your career. Oh yeah, okay. All right, hey Candace. Yes, I want to show your comments, but they're not showing on my little screen here. Okay, I'm gonna just read some of Candace's comments. She says credibility goes further than a resume. Build personal brand to build credibility. I love. We are coming with the liners, with the 1-2 liners. I'm loving it. Candace also says, I totally agree with personal brand. So I've been making money online for years. Okay. Oh, you're a web developer. Yes, great work. Yes, yes. Y'all are funny today. I'm loving it. Come with the comments, y'all. We having a conversation. We building this brand in 2024. Like I want to see all of I want, and I said this before. I want all our brown faces up on here. Like I want to see us. And guess what? If video isn't your thing, is writing your thing, right? Is writing your thing. There's you have a thing. All right, let me go back. And I also want to go back to timing. So I hear a lot of people talk about they're going to wait to build their personal brand. And I'm always like, why? What are you waiting for to build your personal brand? Don't wait. I'm not, and I'm always like, what lie have you been told that you think you need to wait to build? You can literally, while you're on this live, be on your phone, like, all right, Latrice said, and be updating your LinkedIn profile. You know what I'm saying? You could really be like, oh no, tomorrow when I go into work, I'm gonna talk about my new idea, my new initiative. Like there's no, I cannot think of a good reason to wait. So the timing is now. Again, especially in 2024, we're seeing a more competitive job market. We're seeing more people start their own businesses, right? And I'll talk about how building your personal brand can benefit you in starting your business, right? You're seeing more, even more and more people are using LinkedIn compared to before. I think they just crossed like the $1 billion um, not $1 billion, billion user mark themselves, right? So the world is kind of getting smaller. You need to stand out. It's getting, like more and more people are using the same tools. More and more people are applying. Y'all, before I would say maybe 3 or 4 years ago, let's say 2019, I could see jobs that were up for 2 weeks and a hundred um they would never have 100 applicants. Now I can see a job up for 2 days and it'll be like over 100 applicants. And I don't want you to let that stop you. You still apply because guess what? Your resume is branded. Your LinkedIn should be branded, so you're gonna stand out. Even more reason, okay? But yeah, please don't let the timing stop you. It doesn't take a lot of time to do. I have a 6 month program and I have a 3 month program, right? Very short amount of time that we could build your brand and you could be increasing your salary, having a career that you love, like going on vacations, working remotely, having a profitable business. These things, when you build your brand, it doesn't take a lot of time, right? So just kind of know if you're getting into that timing wording of like, I'll do it next time. All right. All right. I'm just looking, y'all know I gotta be looking at my notes. Oh, this is good. And I just saw so if you want to start your own business, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Y'all, when my clients work with me and we work on usually we're working on their personal branding for their career or leadership roles, right? And then recently, I would say like the last year to 2 years, I've been helping my clients start and maintain businesses. Let me tell you, when we build a business based on their expertise and their brand, right? And again, we're like, what's their competitive edge? What's the problem that they solve? What's the easiest way they like to get their message out and communicate? I've seen them when I tell you $30,000 contracts their first 30 days. My one client went from, I've been working with her for a couple of years. She went from zero to 250 to $500,000 in revenue. I got another client we're working on taking her to 600K in revenue, all by building their personal brand. This is not working with ads. This is not saying like, oh, you're going to post on TikTok 5 times a day. None of that. This is solely using their personal brand, and they're landing clients quickly, because they're clearly able to communicate why they're different than any other business. Let me know if y'all picking up what I'm dropping. Because here's the thing, the average black female business, at least the last time I looked at the research, our revenue was $25,000. That's not enough. And once I had already knew about personal branding, I took it into my business and it still took me a minute. But now I do have a working on multiple 6 figure business. And y'all see, I built my personal brand. I continue. I built relationships. I make sure people know what I'm great at. I outsource the rest. I do a lot of collaborations. And it results in me quickly building a business. quickly being able to help you all, being able to show up every day, do what I love, and generate revenue in my business. So, especially if you are starting a business or you're already a business owner, I would put building your personal brand at the top of your marketing. Like, if you're like, what am I going to do for marketing? First thing should be, all right, I'm building my personal brand. That's number one. Everything should fall under there. It's going to make it a lot easier to sell, get clients, and bring revenue into your business. Everything else people are going to tell you is going to be supplemental to that. But that needs to be primary. I have seen the results. All right. Um, Oh, and then I also wanted to talk about getting instant clients. So I've been having a lot of people ask me about how do you go from employee to entrepreneur, and that's what I did. I actually had several businesses before my coaching business, so I had worked and had a business for a long time. I had a marketing business because I love marketing. I had like an eBay business. I sold books, so I had a couple different ones until I went full time in my coaching business. And there is a different when you are delivering a service, your personal brand is imperative, especially to getting your first few clients. Imperative. I got my first few clients from networking and referrals, using my personal brand, telling them what I was good at and what I could do for them. So I want you all to keep that in mind too, of like why you need to build your personal brand in 2024. And then, if you all want to get speaking engagements, media, writing articles, again, this is how you build your brand. And then building your brand will allow you to get more of those. I see clients who are doing like, I have clients who are doing like weekly tips, weekly posts on LinkedIn, but it's however you choose to build your brand, sharing your expertise. You're going to see people are then going to love that. They're going to connect with you and they're going to say, hey, can you speak at my organization? Hey, would you mind being featured in this article? All right. So I have given y'all several reasons. I had a whole list of why you, as a Black woman, need to build your brand in 2024. Y'all hear me? All right. Let me check the comments before we hop off. Okay. So y'all know why we need to do that in 2024. If you're like, yes, Latrice, I want to go deeper. I want to work with you. I invite you to join my Leadership Legacy program. Book a call with me. We're going to see what's going on, how we can enhance your brand, help you achieve your goals, and get you enrolled. You can schedule a call with me at calendly.com/Latrice/leadership. Y'all, I'm ready. I'm excited to work with you all. Also, what I have coming up for you all, I'm going to be bringing more Black women on. I have two scheduled so far. I may have a couple more, but I'm not just going to be walking the walk. I mean, I'm talking the talk. I'm going to be walking the walk. So I'm going to be inviting former clients, Black business owners that I collaborate with to come on and build their brand and speak to you all. It's going to be amazing. So get your questions ready because what we have coming for you all, fire, fire. All right. Have a good night, you all. Bye.